What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about Scream 7 in this video here today, going over this interview from Collider that Kevin Williamson had recently. Came out today, I think. And this was about his upcoming show, The Waterfront, but they asked him a lot about Scream 7, and we got this exciting article where he's going over how Neve Campbell was the angel on his shoulder in regards to directing Scream 7, talks about Wes Craven, gives us a small update on Sidney's life, confirming something that I had been peddling a bit online on my channel and on Twitter. And also he's asked about the status of a trailer as it pertains to Scream 7. So in relation to Campbell, Neve Campbell, that being the angel on his shoulder, pressing him to direct Scream 7, he said, I did have to have a conversation with myself 100%. It was not a no-brainer. When Neve Campbell called and the studio called and asked if I would direct it, my first thought was no. But I knew I had to say yes. He also admitted that he initially backed away from the last two Scream movies because of the absence of Wes Craven, who passed away in 2015. He stated, it was the weirdest thing in my head. I just was terrified because it's Wes Craven. One of the reasons I moved away from the franchise after 4 was because I didn't want to do it without Wes. One part of me was saying no, but I knew yes was going to come out of my mouth. And so I said yes. It was such a weird, surreal moment. He also talked about how it's exciting to go into this 7th film. He said, I'm excited because I love Neve Campbell so much and I love the cast. I'm just totally immersed in Sidney Prescott and who she is and everything she's been through and all these different incarnations of her life as seen through the entire franchise. And now what I love about this movie is that we get to go home with Sidney, or get to go home with her and see who she is today and how she's raising her children and what kind of person lives through everything she's lived through and still manages to wake up, get out of bed and be a mother and to be a business owner. And to be all of these things. What does she do when Ghostface comes calling? Is just another way to tell the story. What I love about Scream is that it can take so many different avenues. Now that it's a franchise, we can go to New York, we can go to a small town, we can go anywhere we want. It's open and expanded beyond just Woodsboro, California, and that's what I love about Scream. It's broadened and it's grown and it keeps going. There's never one killer. There's always a new killer and a new motive. We have that mystery element. That's what I love about Scream. That's what I wanted it to be, and I'm so blessed that it became what it became. He went on to address the challenges of Scream 7 and the difficulties. He said, it's really hard. It's Scream 7. Let's not fool ourselves. How do you do that? It's a challenge. You want the audience to be scared and you want them to have a good time. But Scream is a lot more than that. It's comedic, it's dramatic, it's emotional, and it's scary. But it's hard to keep all that alive. You just work really, really hard to try to keep it fresh and to keep the turns and twists coming. Then they concluded by asking him about the trailer. He said, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm still editing. That's the next phase. So he doesn't know when the trailer is going to be coming out. My best bet is it will be coming out sometime in October. You'll get your first teaser in October. Now, the business owner aspect is what I want to address right away. If you've been following me on Twitter and been listening to what I've been sharing on my page, not just me, but I believe a few others like Craven Something Scary have heard this as well. Sidney Prescott was allegedly a business owner. Now Kevin Williamson has just flat out confirmed that. Now, the business she allegedly is involved in is related to a coffee shop. The coffee shop was spotted on set. I believe I've shared images of it on my channel. Craven, I think, has shared images on his channel. But we've been saying that Sidney Prescott is a business owner. We've also been saying that it would appear, going off of what was captured out when they were filming Scream 7 in Georgia, it looks like there is going to be some sequence involving a chase with Sidney's daughter where the daughter runs to the coffee shop. And of course, the coffee shop, now going off of Kevin's comments, must belong to Sidney Prescott. Now let's discuss some of his other comments about the challenges of Scream 7 when it relates to keeping it fresh. I'm glad he brought that up because it's a very self-aware comment. Very ironic and very fitting considering this is his franchise, which is very self-aware. But it's true. When you have a character like Sidney Prescott back into the mix like this, how do you keep your audience on edge when you are aware that you're probably not going to kill Sidney Prescott? So the fact that he addressed it does make me a little bit more hopeful that there are going to be some sequences in this film that might make me doubt Sidney's survival. That's really all I asked for. I'm not asking for you guys to kill her. That's not what I want. That's not what most people want. But the experience should have something that at least makes me think, oh my gosh, they're really about to pull the trigger. They're really about to kill Sidney Prescott. If you can give me a sequence or two like that, then I'll be fine. I trust that you're not going to kill her, but it's just the thought of it all, the anxiety of it all, the fact that you might be willing to do it, that it looks like you're about to do it. If you can give your audience something that gets them gripped like that, you've done a good job. It doesn't matter if she makes it out alive or not. Just something that makes it look like she's in danger. Because so many of us are going into this movie thinking, oh, well, we know how this is going to play out. We know she's going to survive. We don't have to worry about Ghostface. We know Ghostface is going to fail. So Ghostface's legitimacy is in the toilet for some people already prior to even watching Scream 7. Granted, you can build legitimacy by doing more than just attacking Sidney Prescott. But yes, it'd be nice to have Sidney also just being scared of Ghostface once again, because in Scream 4, while the fear was there, it wasn't as prevalent in the first 3. And then in Scream 5, she was bored, as she put it. So now that her children are going to be in the mix, well, a child, I should say, the other 2 definitely aren't going to be with them. She has a teenage daughter in the mix. It's going to make that a little bit more dire for her. So she'll be selling the threat of Ghostface. And it's just important you have aspects like that. We don't need her saying, you know what, I'm bored. That only reinforces the argument. Stop focusing on Sidney Prescott if she's going to just like undermine your antagonist, which in this franchise is Ghostface. But I am looking forward to seeing what they've concocted for her. I again am putting all my eggs in the basket of the fact that they're going down the route of giving this killer a motive related to wanting to see Sidney Prescott, the final girl, in action. And once they get it, they will be a happy camper. But in order to get it, that's where the Ghostface return comes in. That's where the AI stuff comes in as well, using people related to the first trilogy, because that's when Sidney was at her best to them. That's just the angle I see happening. I think it's a very appropriate and fitting angle for someone at this status that Sidney is at in her career as a final girl. When people are saying they're tired of revenge angles, they're tired of fame and franchise angles, what else do you do? Go down that path. Yeah, you have a little bit of the fame stuff in there, but it's a refreshing twist enough to still be compelling to me, as opposed to, yes, what you got in Scream 6, which while I still enjoy and love Scream 6, Scream 6 I feel like should have leaned a little bit more into the cancel culture of it all versus revenge because we're the parents or the family of Richie Kirsch. That's just me. But what do you guys think about Kevin's comments? Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Turn on post notifications every next video. In the description, I'll have links to all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course. Let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.